going to spend this presentation telling you a little bit about the basic verb tenses. So we're not going to get into the real complicated stuff today. I just want you to have just a general sense of the most basic tools of tenses. Okay, so the three most common and basic verb tenses are the simple present tense, the simple past tense, and the future simple tense. So simple present tense, you're probably all really comfortable with this tense. If you look at your textbook, you can see some of the forms of both regular and irregular verbs. I don't want you to go in here and try to memorize all this stuff. Unless you really feel like you need to feel comfortable with it. But these are just lists that you can refer to as we go along, these big tables of all these verbs and the different forms of them. So for the simple present tense, I bake a cake, I catch a fish. This is just the present tense of the verb. That's all it is. We can add modals now. And what modals do is they add nuance to the meaning. So I can add the modal can or must or might, for example, or would or could. So I can bake a cake. I could bake a cake. I will bake a cake. I would bake a cake. I must bake a cake. I might bake a cake. These are all still the simple present tense, but the modal adds that nuanced meaning to it. Now, as I mentioned in one of the past lectures, modals are part of verb phrases. They don't have to be part of a verb phrase, though. Many verb phrases don't have a modal. Sometimes you don't require that extra meaning. But if they're there, then they're part of the verb phrase. Most modals don't change the tense of the verb. The vast majority of them don't. The one that does is the modal will, and I'll show you how it does that in a moment. But know that modals will never, ever, ever act as main verbs. Okay, let's go on to the simple past tense. I baked a cake. I caught a fish. I bought a new shirt. I froze my toes. And then future simple tense. And here we see the modal will. I will bake a cake. I will catch a fish. I will buy a new shirt. I will freeze my toes. So you can see here how adding the modal will actually changes the present tense, the simple present tense, to the future simple tense.